So in this video I'm going to show another Middle Eastern scale. This is called Saba. The actual original of this scale contains notes that you can't play on the guitar. It's microtones, which means that the notes would fall between the frets of the guitar. So what I'm going to show is basically a kind of approximate version. You do actually hear this approximate version in Middle Eastern music when it's being played on Western fretted instruments, so like the bouzouki, the Greek version of the scale, and also anytime it would be played on the guitar. So this is a very diminished scale. I'll play through it once and then kind of explain it. So I'm starting on E. And the chord that goes with it would be E minor. So I'll play it slowly now, saying the names of the notes. So we start with E, F sharp, G, G sharp, B, C, D, and then E flat, right? So then, same here. So E, F sharp, G, G sharp, B, C, D, E flat. Right. And then you can make this last note F natural rather than F sharp on the way down sometimes. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So two things to note about this scale. One, and this is pretty unique in that it doesn't actually end on the octave. So you can jump an octave in this, meaning you can start on this E and play through it, or start on this E and play through it. But traditionally, the ending note would actually be there, right, a flat. So E flat, basically. So. Right, and then when you jump octave, you would just jump. So start a new phrase up in this octave. If you're just going through it, you can also just use that higher E and go all the way to the second octave. But that's kind of a defining feature of this. A second thing is that in the version of this that would be played on fretless instruments, this second note would actually be between the F and the F sharp. So a way you can approximate that, and this is useful for other scales as well, is to make this note, the second note, sharp on the way up and flat on the way down. So you can have phrases like but in the actual original, the note would be closer to F sharp. So you can use that F sparingly. So before I get to the chords, one more kind of deviation you can do from the scale here is to play C sharp rather than C natural. You basically want to do that to do this phrase, right? So you don't want to go. That totally changes the character of the scale. But what you do is right. So basically, I'm using that C sharp to kind of lean on and push the melody back up. So that's one more way you can kind of go outside the scale. So let me get to the chords now. An interesting thing about the scale is that it has both the major third and the minor third in it. So technically, the third note of the scale is if you do 1, 3, 5, you get a minor chord. But the fourth note of the scale actually gives you this chord, right? So you'll use E minor more than E major here, but you can do stuff like that. Right. So both of those chords kind of work, but definitely E minor would be the ending chord. After that, you have G major, right? And so the third note of the scale is actually a kind of stable point. So right, you would stop there longer than the other notes. So corresponding to that, G major would be the chord that you would use there, right? So. And then two more chords that you can use here are D major and D minor. The main one you would use would be D major. So right. The reason D minor works sometimes is that this F sharp can become F natural on the way down. So you could have a phrase like So basically, the chords you're going to use are, the main ones you're going to use are E minor, E major, G major, D major, and D minor. And of those, E minor, G major, and D major are the ones that go with it most easily, and the other ones are kind of work more like passing chords. So I'll do a little demonstration of how this would go and how the chords would be used with it. First, I'll do it really simple and slow to make it easy to follow, and then kind of how it would sound in a musical context. So. So now I'll show it kind of with more ornamentation. It might be a little bit harder to follow if you're new to this.